Hello, beautiful peeps! Mugaka Murakumo, the Dream Painter here, and a few nights back, I just witnessed a murder. An internet murder, that is. If you missed it, I linked it in the description. Nick Reeeee Law on YouTube, he did a stream 2 nights ago, Sunday, February 24th, with a Twitter nobody. And I was in the chat, as well as another YouTuber named Senpai's Home, and if you haven't checked him out, he has some really good Vic Mignogna videos. Oh my god, yeah, it was a crazy chat, and it was a really fun chat. And tonight, you and me lovely peeps are going to look at some of the highlights of Nick's stream. Enjoy. And it starts out very cordial in the beginning, and then Mr. Twitter Nobody, aka Shane Holmberg, I think is his name, starts to get very hostile.
Inappropriate, lying, horrible articles who are just out to slander Bank, and you're telling me that you, who are their leader right now, is basically...
That part just killed me. He said that he is our leader. Technically, kinda he is, because, you know, we don't have any other lawyer that is coming on and, you know, backing us up and saying, like, hey, I see something terribly wrong with, you know, what these people did, and if they are indeed guilty, they could get into serious trouble, and hey, I'm a lawyer, I know. So, this guy, I can't remember, it was like, okay, you know, in the beginning, he seemed like a nice guy, and you know, I'm sure he's a nice guy, you know, out of being and I checked his Twitter page, and oh my god, guys, like, he is a feminist, he is a Democrat, which is nothing wrong with a Democrat, he is a Hillary supporter, some people nickname her Killary, we won't go into that, and he is an activist. Like, it says right on his profile that he is an activist. And of course, we had no idea who this guy was until I think maybe 20 or 30 minutes into this chat. But let's keep going on.
His information on those exact same articles.
I'm flattered to be there.
You don't have any kind of inside information. You don't have any kind of inside information behind Funny. You don't have any inside information about the contracts. You haven't actually talked to Nick's lawyers about legal strategy. You're basing your information off the same articles that...
Okay. This Shane guy clearly does not know anything about law, and he's like, what do you call it? Like an artificial lawyer type for Monica Rial, Jamie Markey. I found out how to say her name. I found out how to say her last name. That he himself, he should take his own advice. The only one who's being an internet lawyer here, and we haven't even gotten to that part yet, but he calls Nick an internet lawyer, a podcast lawyer, or something, and that's why I decided to name this video that. He knows nothing about law. It's clear that he knows nothing about law. And neither do Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, Ron Toy Boy, the Soy Boy, Cuck Toy Boy, whatever you want to call it. They know nothing about law. But yet they pretend like they do. And this guy, it's like, you don't know anything about law, even though you're a lawyer, and you come on, you know, you have me on the stream, and blah blah blah, and you can't be going off of these baseless allegations. It's like, buddy, take your own. You know, have your friends take their own advice. You know, oh my gosh, let's just keep going.
I'm very flattered that you call me the leader, but let's get something straight here. Have you ever brought litigation against someone? Because when you bring litigation against someone, you have to go off of available information, correct?
I have, yes.
Okay, so am I correct in stating that If you bring litigation against someone, you have a pool of available information, like statements that they made, maybe to news publication, that would be something you could use to craft your complaint, correct?
Oh, wait, stop. Hold on. Just to make sure we're actually on the same page.
I mean, this is a simple question.
I understand it is simple. What are we going to court for? There's a million things that they could actually go to court for and sue for. Let's take Funimation.
Oh, he just admitted there are several things. There are a good number of things that Vic can actually go to court for. Thank you, Internet Nobody.
Hold on. Wait, why won't you... your question is a far-off tangent.
You're trying
No. I'm trying to get you to say whether or not, when you are bringing any litigation of any kind, if you are to use available information, like that is available to the public, like maybe something someone said in a journalistic publication, for example, or maybe something someone said to another person who can corroborate that statement, or are you supposed to use information that you do not have access to, like maybe an internal investigation report? Which one do you use when you go on to bring litigation?
When you're going to bring your litigation, there's going to be discovery, and you're going to grab
Okay. Oh my God. You don't just get discovery. Like, you have to make a complaint that has to survive 1, sua sponte dismissal for failure to state a claim, and 2, potentially a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim, and then you get discovery. You have to allege a particular amount. You have to allege a particular set of facts that create enough of a controversy to get you there. And you have to do that on publicly available information because you do not have access to other stuff. Yes, you get to discovery and you might be able to add more. It's almost like I made several videos talking about this process, but I'm just not sure. So answer the question, when you bring litigation...
And I just love that. This guy answers a question, answers Nick's question with another question. That's the way how you can tell somebody is BSing you. Is they pretend like they know, but they don't know. And they answer your question with another question. Oh my gosh.
Do you go off of information that is available publicly, or do you go off of information that is behind some sort of door that you don't have access to? Which one do you do?
When you actually go into litigation, you actually go and you actually subpoena the information. You get information that's public and private.
You don't just get to subpoena information. You have to have cause. You have to have some level of articulable claim, and you have to make that claim of fact. You don't get to do it. It's Iqbal versus Twombly. This is Civil Procedure 101. Hey, wait, I thought you told me I don't have the legal expertise over and over, and here you are missing a very basic step. The first step of litigation is to bring claims against someone. You have to draft a complaint. Yes, you do. You have to draft a complaint and hand it to somebody. You have to serve them, or you have to file it in court and get a
You have to decide what kind of litigation you're bringing.
Civil litigation. What are you talking about?
There's a million civil litigations. What are you bringing?
Literally all of them start with a complaint.
Oh my God.
Every single one. Okay, what's the alternative process? Come on, bring me the alternative process than a complaint and summons, buddy. What is it?
You can't even decide what kind of litigation that...
What is the other process than summons and complaint for bringing civil litigation? What is it? You're such an expert. What is it?
Let's back up because...
No, answer the question. How do you bring a civil suit without a summons and complaint? Answer it.
You can't even answer what you're actually going to court for.
Oh my God, you are embarrassing. Answer the question without a...
He really was embarrassing. You were face palming the entire time you were watching this. Let's back up a little bit. No! Answer the effing question. It's not that hard. Just answer the question. When you're on a podcast and you are asked a question and you clearly don't know anything about whatever the subject is that you're talking about, you sound like a cardupido. You sound like a complete moron. Oh my God! Like, I was raging through when the first time I saw this, and I was raging again. And, oh my god, I was just the first time I saw this, I didn't know what I was up against. I mean, I knew there's gonna be some stupidity, but of this level, of this caliber, I couldn't believe it.
Summons and complaint. How do you bring a civil suit?
What is Vic suing for?
It doesn't matter. Literally every... Okay, fine. Tortious interference with business prospects. How do you bring a complaint with... How do you bring...
Let's do this.
Oh my god, please answer the question now. How do you bring suit other than a summons and complaint?
That part really bothered me. Like, yeah, you know, excuse me. Yeah, he's getting mad. You know, like, some people in the comments are like, oh, he's clapping autistically like a seal. And I don't know if you guys saw some of the comics that this one comic, I think he was a webcomic creator, Patriarchy Comics. that came to mind. He did a picture of these feminists who were fat land whales, lardy looking things, as seals, and they're clapping, and and that's what just came to my mind when Shane started clapping like that. Oh my gosh, what a loser.
Alright, let's do this. Tortious interference of a business. You're going to bring a complaint stating that a business...
You're going to bring a complaint? Is that what you just said? Answer me. Please, dear God, answer me.
Are you just going freaky right now because you're frustrated?
You're the most...
Are you frustrated right now?
Yeah. And Nick even counters this. He's like, oh, are you serious? Are you doing the... Are you mad, bro? You mad? You mad, bro? These people are so childish, and like... I mean, this was golden. This was absolutely golden. You know, before he said it, I knew he was gonna say it. Like, you know, like, oh, you're getting mad? You're getting mad? Oh, that's too bad, Nick. You know. I'm the only one that's being calm here. We'll see about that, buddy.
Are you seriously gonna pull the "Are you mad? You mad, bro"? No, answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. You won't even answer it. Did you say you bring a complaint?
I did say that you actually bring a complaint. You file a suit.
Okay, thank God.
You file a suit against a company. You have stated now, and I've been asking for 10 minutes about what kind of suit are you filing. Now we're filing a suit. Tortious interference against a business. Let's go. Tortious interference of a business.
Okay, how do you file that suit? Is it with a summons and complaint? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Of course the answer is yes. There is no other way to bring suit against someone, even though you nebulously stated that there is.
Good for you. Let's go over it now.
Good for me. Oh my. Okay.
Let's go over it now.
Let's go over it. Let's go over my hypothetical one cause of action that I mentioned to get you to answer one question. Okay.
So Vic is going to sue for tortious interference of a business contract.
I don't know, but he could. Not of a business contract. I said a prospective business.
Okay, prospective business, not even actual prospective business.
Yes, it's a cause of action in Texas. It falls under a broad category of civil actions called corporate or business defamation.
This idiot should know that, right? He lives in Texas. Yeah, go to his Twitter page. It says that he's in Texas.
Oh, so Vic is also egotistical now. Great. Okay.
Oh my gosh. That part really made me rage. Like, oh, Vic is also egotistical. Okay, well, we see where you stand, buddy. We see exactly where you stand. And, 30 minutes in, it's not going to convince us that you are all for Nick, because you really are not for Nick.
Let's do it. So Funimation is going to... So Vic is going to sue Funimation, saying that they are interfering with potential business that he may have. Let's go for it. How is Vic going to sue Funimation, saying they are intentionally interfering with a business opportunity that he has? Go.
Okay, how you bring this cause of action, the elements are that a business in the course of business makes a statement or does an action that causes damage to someone's brand in the form of something like defamation. There are other potential causes of action, but we'll go with business defamation, like potentially saying that an internal investigation came up about harassment, for example, came up that after that investigation they decided to cut ties, and then adding a subtext, a second comment which doesn't make any sense from any legal capacity, of saying that we do not condone or support harassment or targeting of any kind. For example, let's just say that. Then maybe 17 conventions disinvite Vic following that. I think we can go ahead and suggest, for the purposes of the complaint at least, that we can say
Oh, and I just want to say, also in that little description, it does say Pensacon. So this guy is probably going to be included in the lawsuit.
that Funimation made a statement that caused Vic damage. The only thing that we would have to prove...
And I would not be surprised if he was the one that said, you know, like, you will be arrested if you say anything about Vic Mignogna or Monica Real or anything like that. Like, I am betting $500 that this is the same guy. He's on Twitter, and it does say that he's affiliated with Pensacon. I bet $500 this is the same guy who tweeted that stuff to Vic's fans. Who said, you know, we're gonna show our support for Vic and boo Monica or something like that. Like, personally I'm against that, but you do what you want to do. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna judge you because part of me feels the same way. I would just say that it's not that I'm not brave of doing that type of stuff, and you know, the whole banning Jamie Marchi from conventions. You do what you do, boo. I'm not gonna get into that type of stuff. I'm going to support Vic online and monetary wise. And when I get more money, I might, like I said in the chat, I said DoorDash for Vic. I might do some DoorDashing just for Vic.
Would be actual malice, which can be alleged in the complaint and sought through discovery. Yes, I think I could have written that weeks ago. I could certainly write it today. I could have that in the mail by tomorrow if I were representing Vic and that was the cause of action that was correct.
You probably could, but you're not representing Vic, and there's probably a reason for that. So let's just go over.
Yes, I'm in Minnesota. I'm not licensed in Texas. I'm a solo practitioner. I don't have the firm. I don't.
Okay, right at this point, if you say to a lawyer, you know, that you're talking about a case to, you know, like, well, you know, you're so enamored by this person. Why don't you go and be their lawyer in this state? I'm sorry, honey, that's not how it works. You have to have a license, and as somebody who had gone through the whole real estate thing, unless you have reciprocity in a state, I don't know much about law, but if you have reciprocity in a state as a real estate agent, like say, you know, living in Illinois, and I could have reciprocity in Florida, that would be the only means of, you know, maybe possibly if I were to move to Florida, if I lived in Illinois and I moved to Florida, then I could practice real estate, being a real estate agent in Florida. Like I said, I don't know about law. I don't know if law has reciprocal laws or not. But with real estate agents, some do. Some states do have reciprocity in them. But what this idiot actually suggested was, why don't you go onto an air, you know, why don't you go fly to Texas, be Vic's lawyer. Stupid. Just absolutely stupid. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about real estate, because real estate and being a lawyer are similar, a little bit similar, not quite, but a little bit similar. Whereas, you know, you're licensed to do something, you're licensed to do certain things. And when I, you know, like I said, it's a lengthy process to become a real estate agent, and even after that, you still have to do tests every now and then. You still have to take classes, I think, every now and then. Like I dropped out of being a real estate agent. It wasn't for me. Again, you know, I don't know much about law as much as I do, but I know for sure I know more about law than this guy does. Let's just keep going.
Don't have the firm resources to go ahead and sue potentially 15 different parties, including a multi-billion-dollar company called Sony or a multi-hundred-million-dollar called Funimation.
Yeah, lawyers, you know, they make good money, but no lawyer in his right mind is going to get a license for that particular state of, you know, what person he wants to defend, and then go fly down there. This guy is just off his rocker.
I don't do that type of litigation from the middle of central Minnesota. I primarily
You don't personally have that kind of finances available, which means you actually obviously don't understand how lawsuits actually work because it's not you paying for it. But look.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm surprised. I give Nick the props for having so much patience with Sardupido. Because I don't think many lawyers would have taken too kindly that, oh, you don't know one thing about being a lawyer, even though you are a lawyer, even though you are a practicing lawyer, you know, oh my god.
Let's go ahead and go on with this. So
hold on. You're suggesting, this is you right now. Let me just go ahead and point out. You're suggesting that Vic should maybe consider hiring a solo practitioner who does small civil litigation in central Minnesota to take his case, which might be filed in Denton County, Texas, which might be filed in the Eastern District or Northern District of Texas, and maybe has suits in the Southern District of California. You're suggesting that it's because I lack some sort of resources or something. I don't even know what you're trying to say, because that statement, you said there's a reason. No, you said there's a reason why you're not his counsel. The reason I'm not Vic's counsel is because there is no reason for me to be Vic's counsel. It would be absolutely silly. It would be patently absurd to hire a solo practitioner in a state 1,000 miles away to do a complex.
Talk to his lawyers, doesn't know the strategy, doesn't know anything.
This guy doesn't know anything about being, about lawyers and being a lawyer and the law. It takes money to go into litigation, and with all of these people who are, they're possibly going to be sued, including Shane. I'm like I said, I'm $500 betting that Shane is the same Twitter idiots who tweeted at those fans of Vic that, oh, you do this, you're gonna wind up in handcuffs. We're gonna arrest you. We're gonna have the police arrest you. We're gonna have the police escort you out of the building. Or no, not even that. Mostly arresting. We're gonna have the police arrest you if you do any of this stuff. If any Vic supporters show up, they will be arrested. I'm 100% sure. $500 on the table that this is the same guy. I would not be surprised, because, like I said, underneath his Twitter handle, it says Pentacon, Florida. It says Pentacon. Even though this guy's in Texas, he seems like he has a lot of ties to Pentacon. And I would not, and since he's on Twitter, I would not be surprised and how childish he's acting in the stream, I would not be surprised. He is the same Twitter moron who tweeted that to Vic's fans.
I say it's speculation every stream! How are you this embarrassingly...
You can't say that, this is the facts. This is the actual facts. This is exactly what happens, because Nick knows that he'd get in trouble for that. So that's why he does say, this is just speculation. This is just speculation. This is just speculation. And I have watched several of the streams, and he said, this is what I'm speculating, blah, 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 blah. This is, this is the possible outcome. This is exactly what this is what, could happen. He never said, this is factual, blah, blah, blah. No. But this guy, this guy who is clearly a troll, clearly, on the kick Vic side, who is clearly, has some ties to Pentagon and is probably the owner of that tweet that threatened Vic's fans of getting arrested if they were to ever bring up anything about Vic or, even just supporting him, period. That they would be arrested. This moron, who clearly knows nothing about law, oh my god, who's trying to take the high and mighty ground, it's just, this is really embarrassing for him. But he's trying to get Nick into a corner and say, yes, this is factual evidence. Okay? Is that what you want to hear? Like, he's really trying to get him mad. But Nick is getting mad, but he's also keeping his cool at the same time because he's not saying stupid things. Which is why I would love to see Nick debate people from the left, such as Destiny, and I know that he would bury Destiny. John Tron and Dick Masterson, they couldn't stand up to Destiny. But Nick, I know Nick could bury Destiny in a debate. Hands down. I'll put down $500, and I don't know what Destiny's take is on this Vic Mignogna thing, but since Vic is a Christian, he is a heterosexual male who is outspoken about his beliefs, but even though he's outspoken about his beliefs, he still is very respectful of other people's beliefs. I know Destiny would probably be on the kick Vic side, and because he's already on, he's already on the spectrum. He's already on the far left spectrum of politics, and I don't like getting into politics, but I'm getting into politics because politics is seeping into what I enjoy and what I love. And then that's when it gets heated, and then that's when it gets interesting. Because the people on the far left are insane. I watched seriously, go watch the podcast with Anime Outsider. I subbed to Anime Outsider. I think that guy is great. He and I are on the same wavelength. There's a lot of cancer in the anime community. And there's a lot of really good stuff in the anime community, and he from what I hear, he and I, we like the same stuff. And I think he's clearly on this. He is definitely on the same page as Nick. Go watch the stream with Anime Outsider, Nick Raquetta, talking about Tara Strong. Crazy person, Tara Strong. Watching that stream, 4 hours of my life I would gladly wasted on that stream. That was an awesome stream. We got some awesome anime recommendations, man. But this Shane Holmberg guy knows nothing about law, trying to take the high ground, and he's clearly a troll. And a lot of people in the comments were saying, in the chat were saying, Nick, he's a troll, he's clearly a troll. And yeah, he is a troll. You can still be, and that Dominique person, oh my god, don't get me on that Dominique person. She's probably going to find herself in the lawsuit as well. I would not be surprised, because I could see her in court crying, "But I'm just a troll. I'm just a troll. I was just trolling." You know, because she was saying like, "Oh my God, LOL, you guys fell for it. You guys totally fell for it." Even though you don't work in Funimation, if you have any affiliation with these people, you could find yourself in a lawsuit very, very easily. So this Dominique person's an idiot. This Shane guy is an idiot. But let's keep on going. Let's see what other tactics Shane has up his sleeve of trying to get Nick to say something that could be used against him. So far, there has been nothing used against him, and anywhere in this stream, there was nothing that, you know, he fell into a trap of.
Bad at this.
The cool thing is I already talked to someone earlier today who actually talks to Vic, and I already knew that everything that you actually talk about on your stream was speculation. I already knew that everything was speculation, and that you...
Oh. See, he's like, now he's backpedaling. He's saying, "Oh yeah, I knew everything on your stream was speculation." You know, oh my gosh, this guy, I'm sorry I keep on pausing the video. I just had to add some of my 2 cents in. You know, when I watched this, I wanted to give my thoughts on this stream. I think it was an excellent stream, like many of Reeeee's streams. Sometimes I just put those on and I draw to them. You know, I listen to his podcasts, especially the people he's debating. There's one about a sex offender. I think it's a pedophile. I can't wait to throw that one on, you know, while I draw tonight.
Oh my God! Join 200,000 people who know that what I talk about is speculation because they watch me say, "I'm not Vic's attorney. This is what I would do if I had the chance."
I wanted you to keep saying it over and over and over again so it gets into their heads.
Okay.
Just keep saying it. This is all speculation.
We know it's speculation, you Tardupido. We know it's speculation. I almost said a bad word, so I had to really check myself. Oh my God, I almost said DEF. Oh my God. I want you to tell them that it's speculation. Say it over and over and over again, so it gets into their heads. We know it's speculation. Even though it's speculation, it still could become factual.
I can't wait for you to make a super cut as a gotcha.
No, I'm just waiting for you to keep saying over and over again that you don't know what you're talking about with Vic.
Okay, buddy. Now let's get to it. Let's get to it, because did you forget what we were here to discuss? You said
we're discussing all of that.
You said.
Okay. Here we go. Here's my question for you. You're going to sue. Let's hypothetically.
No, I'm not going to sue anybody. Remember?
Not you. Vic. So Vic's law firm is going to sue Funimation for interfering with a business contract, and you yourself brought up conventions, which is where his money comes in at. So I would like you to explain to me how he goes to court, any court whatsoever, in or out, any kind of litigation, and explains to a court and files a claim saying that Funimation fired him, made a statement online, which they did, and the second tweet of that statement made a claim about sexual harassment. It was a different tweet from when they said he was fired, but the second tweet said we don't condone sexual harassment. I would like you to explain to me and all the viewers and everyone listening online at home how it is that he goes to court and says that that tweet was the cause of him losing the income with any convention in this country.
Okay, first of all, you're talking about tortious interference with a contract, which requires knowledge of which requires actual knowledge of effort failed, and then there was a second effort to remove Vic after the release of Broly, which succeeded. That's pretty easy. Now, you don't have to have knowledge of any specific contract in business defamation, because when you impugn a business's ability to conduct business within its trade or within its market, damages are presumed because you don't know which contracts would be affected or not affected. So no, you don't have to prove a specific and Before you jump in at the end of this, there's a further statement because I'm going to head off the argument you're going to make. But you don't have to prove a specific convention dropped him for this statement or for any other statement, because any number of conventions might have sent him a letter of invitation, even ones that weren't mentioned, even ones that aren't part of the 17. That's why you presume damages, because there's no way to understand the scope of damages that are caused by business defamation. It's called defamation per se, negligence per se. It's as a matter of law. You don't have to prove damages. However, even if you wanted to go into each and every con that dropped him and bring a cause of action for tortious interference with a contract, a specific contract, you could get past that. Because in Texas, even if there's an exit clause, because I know you threw that in there as some sort of gotcha, but in Texas specifically, under Texas Supreme Court decisions, even if there is a cancellation or termination clause, up until the moment it's terminated, tortious interference still applies. So even if you give a valid reason for them to cancel a contract, and they cancel a contract, but the communication was done with actual malice and was not privileged, you still have tortious interference because you're in Texas. And because you're in Texas, truth isn't a defense. But I'm not the one who knows this, right? You certainly have a counter argument within the jurisdictions we're talking about, correct? It wouldn't be that way in Arkansas, in Louisiana, in Alabama, in Washington, D.C., in New York State, in California, but it is in Texas. So, please, tell me now where I'm wrong, since you're the expert.
I'm sorry, I actually wasn't paying attention to all of that.
How embarrassing you are.
The trolling. Oh, we got people in the comments saying that your face is looking red. Like, oh, you're getting mad. You're getting mad, bro. Woo-hoo. I wanted to go on, every time that part comes on, it made me want to go onto the chat and see if somebody actually did write that. Part of me speculates that he made that up just to troll Nick more.
You have never, as a matter of fact,
I'm telling you very clearly what happens in Texas law with contracts. You didn't even listen. You're too busy looking at Lolly or whatever you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, you're too busy doing a circle jerk around the question. Answering the question. You're too busy looking at lol.
You've never actually been to court in Texas for a convention contract ever. In your life, you have never been to court in Texas for a contract for convention. I have. I've written the contracts. I've argued them in court. I've won in court. You've never done that. You're an internet lawyer.
I've argued in a court. I've actually done that. I've argued. Oh, what bull? What bull? Oh man. Nobody, no sane person, no person, no person with a mind would be like, oh yeah, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. Hey buddy, why don't you bring up the lawsuit that you were in or whatever, and let's see what litigation you won, what court case you won or whatever. Oh my gosh. You're just yeah. And when I paused it, he said, "You're just an internet lawyer."
Minnesota doing a podcast, trying to tell someone in Texas who writes these contracts and who's won these contracts in court what the actual law is, and saying that
it's pretty easy.
I know, because I watched your videos. You're the guy who gets online, argues what you think is going to be the case, and then when it's argued in the other favor, makes another video and says, this is why the court was wrong. That's what you do. You basically argue what you think it should be, and then when it's decided against you, you make videos saying why the court was wrong. That's all you do.
Which video
Yeah, I'm curious. Which video did he, was he wrong about? Because all of the videos that I've seen so far of his, he's right, because he knows his stuff, and you don't know jack. But here you are, trying to be high and mighty and being like, oh yeah, I actually took sub-court cases. I actually won sub-court cases. Like, he's an actual lawyer. This guy is a nobody. It's clear that he's a nobody. But he's trying to make himself look important, more important than he actually is. And that is what I find extremely laughable.
Did I argue where the court was wrong, where I thought it should go a different way?
You're basically an internet hack catering to really bad people.
Oh man. When he said that, I was like, did he just use a buzzword? Yes, he did. You're catering to the alt-right. Why don't you say it? And he does. Nick's like, yeah, why don't you say it? Say it. Say that you're just say it. Say exactly what you were gonna say. Just go ahead and say it. Because we know exactly what you're gonna say.
Catering to the who? Catering to the who? Say it. Say it.
Catering to the really bad crowd.
No. Name it. Name it. Name who you wanted to name.
I was gonna name the people who are defending.
Yeah, Nazi.
Blackface lawyer.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, good job. You win. Great.
Hey, you're a First Amendment lawyer. I respect you. You're a First Amendment lawyer. Absolutely. I have respect for you for standing up for First Amendment rights. No hate there. You do what you do. You're a First Amendment lawyer. You have a right to stand up for it. That's fine. That you're a lawyer. That's what lawyers do. Absolutely. There's no hate with you standing up for that as a lawyer.
No hate for it. It kind of sounds like there's some hate for it. Did you want to say it caters to the alt-right? You can say it here. It's safe. We're in a safe space.
Oh no, there's no safe spaces, honey.
Because you said caters to the alt, and then you stopped. Go ahead and say it.
I'm gonna say that you.
Yeah, because unlike you idiots, we can poke fun at ourselves. We can poke fun at ourselves, and we can have a good time. But with you guys, you always have to take the moral ground. You always have to be right when you're not. But and you have fabricated in your minds that you're always right and everybody's wrong. And you can't have fun. You can't poke fun at things. You can't poke fun at yourselves because that's not politically correct or whatever.
You're gonna cater to a branch of people that even some people on the alt-right are ashamed of. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what you do.
Sounds good.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
So let's go from one insult to the next. He's gonna call him an alt-right, and then he's like, no, you know what? Instead, you're actually someone who is embarrassing to people on the alt-right. Pretty much like saying, you're not an ant, you're dirt. No, you're not dirt. You're lower than dirt. So childish. Come on, guy.
Now back to the subject that you brought up and demanded. You demanded I name a thing, right? So I said tortious interference with business prospects. Then you said, how is he going to do this? Then I laid out literally step by step exactly how you do it in Texas, and you said, I wasn't listening. So why don't you go in and tell me where I was wrong? You're confusing. This is so sad. You're confusing tortious interference with contracts and tortious interference with business prospects.
Okay, first of all, no, I'm not. We have already established that I'm the person who's actually been to court for contracts in Texas, and you have never.
Listen to that smugness. We've already established that I'm a person that has already gone to courts in Texas. Like he has the high ground. Like, I know more than you do because Texas. Because this was in Texas. Even though you are an accredited, licensed lawyer, and I'm not an accredited, licensed lawyer, I went to a court case in Texas. That's like saying, I'm a, let me see if I can get a good example. It's like saying that arguing something stupid, like hey, I work for McDonald's, therefore I have manager position. Something stupid like that. I don't know. I can't think of any other good example to use, but just something dumb da 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 dum, like that.
Done that. So.
And why am I so much more versed in it?
Obviously you're not. I mean, obviously that's why you're just a podcast lawyer.
Then name where I'm wrong. Name where I'm wrong.
Well,
Oh
I
my
was just
god.
doing that before you interrupted me.
Okay.
I'm afraid of being embarrassed.
I thought you knew about, oh, I'm a nobody. Oh, but I've been to court in Texas. I know what I'm talking about. You're just a podcast lawyer. You're just an internet lawyer. And yeah, that's why. Oh my god. When I watched the stream, I was like, I have to do a video about this. I have to, and do some art for it. Oh, it's just too good to pass up.
You realize, of course, I do this publicly all the time.
I do realize, and I realize that there's a reason why you did the GoFundMe, and I realize why that you have been catering to the people you cater to, and I realize why you're putting out the conspiracy theories.
Dude is so butthurt. Dude is so butthurt that we're winning. Last time I checked that GoFundMe, and I'm gonna check it after I'm done with this video. We're like around almost $70,000. That's how far we're getting. And so this guy, he's really putting on a brave face. I will have to give him props for that, but we're gonna win this, guys. Like, there's no doubt about it that we're not gonna win this. We are definitely gonna win this. And this guy is SOL, so out of luck. Like, he and his friends are so out of luck. Like, so he's trying to discredit Nick. He's trying so hard to trap him with the whole speculation thing. He wanted him to get so angry to say that it was factual, and that would be fallacy on Nick's part. But Nick is smarter than that. Nick is so much smarter than this guy, and it clearly shows in this stream. And oh my gosh, it's just such a joy to watch. I love going back to the stream. This is probably the third, and like I said, we're not gonna listen to the whole thing. But this guy is clearly scared. This guy is clearly scared of the lawsuit. He's putting on a brave face that Nick's GoFundMe for Vic is doing really well, and we are going to hit our we're going to hit that 100,000 pretty soon.
When are you ever going to address any argument I've made?
I addressed arguments you made throughout this entire show.
No, you didn't, because I've been talking about business defamation, which comes out to tortious interference with prospective business relations, which involves a false statement that is made that causes interference with prospective contracts, not existing contracts, and damages are presumed because it's defamation and you don't actually have contracts. Because if you could just unperson someone and they never get work again, you're like, you couldn't get contracts again, that wouldn't be an effective remedy of the court. So,
Alright, let's start with your first sentence in that thing.
Okay.
False statement. Let's start with a false statement. So,
Gotcha.
To begin with this, can you explain to me how Vic's law firm, lawyer, whatever, if Vic decides to take this to court, can you explain to me how Vic proves that all of the people were making false statements?
You don't have to prove that they all made false statements.
Like,
how are you like this? I don't understand.
You're literally sitting here on the internet trying to pretend to be. You're basically saying that you're a lawyer, expertise in the law, and you don't actually have to go into court. You're saying that someone lied, and you don't have to actually have to come up with any evidence showing that they lied. You're just going to go into court and say, "Oh no, I didn't do that," and the judge is going to be like, "Oh, you know what? You're right. I believe in you. Done."
I'm sorry that you failed this part of listening, but you have a defamatory statement about business. No, listen, about business, and that business, that statement.
What's the defamatory statement?
We'll get there, but I'm laying out the elements of the claim because you weren't listening before. You make a defamatory statement in the course of business that damages prospective business relations, so the damages are presumed. All you have to do is show that there was a defamatory statement by the defendant.
I could see
You're just a
as I'm listening to this, I could just see Shane in court screaming his head off. But he's just an internet podcast lawyer.
You're just an internet podcast lawyer. You're just an internet podcast lawyer.
Oh my gosh. But that just, I'm sorry, I just thought I'd just say that because that's just what's coming into my mind. It just keeps on railing on about that internet podcast lawyer. You're just an internet podcast lawyer, just a podcast lawyer. You do this stuff, you know, just to get views, just to get money, blah, blah, blah. You're not really a real lawyer.
One of the two of us is actually talking to those people, and it's not you. You're an internet lawyer who's making speculation to a bunch of people on the internet.
We could do a drinking game. Let's drink each time that he discredits Nick.
You're just an internet podcast lawyer. You're just an internet podcast lawyer.
But he is talking to Vic's lawyer, and that's really all that matters.
Two of us, there's one person who's talked to both sides, and that is me. You, sir, are a person on the internet who is basically having a podcast, making speculations about what you think is going on. And I got on the show originally, and I told someone who was a friend of Vic's, who had been talking to Vic a while ago. I had been talking to someone who was a friend of Vic's earlier, and she knows all about this. She knows about you. She knows about everything. And I told her earlier today, and this was much earlier today, when you first invited me, that I was going to come on the show. You don't want to finish listening?
No, I want to. I really desperately want you to get to your point so you can answer my question. Oh, come on. Now you're typing? You were just talking. Go back to talking.
Because the people who are close to Nick are more important to me, or the people who are close to Vic are more important to me than you are. Anyway.
Sure. Oh my gosh, sure. I was like, oh, the people close to Vic are more important to me. You know, Vic's more important to me. Oh, sure, dude. Please.
So what I was saying was that between the two of us, one of us is actually talking to the players actually involved in this thing. And I was talking to someone on Vic's side who's close to Vic, and she talks to his family all the time. And I was talking earlier today, and I said that I was going to come on the show not to try to talk law with you, but try to talk to you about what we've been talking about how to go about getting Vic's career back. How do we go about getting past this thing that we're in to the point that Vic can actually do what he said he wanted to do? He said he wanted to get back into...
Oh my god, he's so fake. When I was watching this, I was like, oh my god, this person is so despicable. Absolutely despicable. I care more about Vic. I care, because the people close to Vic are, I care more about than you. I'm more important to me than you are. And, oh, we're trying to do so much for Vic. And, oh my god, if you look at that guy's Twitter.
I know Vic. I've talked to Vic. I have personally been with him numerous times behind the scenes. Vic wants to actually do conventions. And I was talking to her about how it is that we go about fixing this so that Vic can go back to doing what he loves. And I was going to come on the show to maybe try to talk to you in this segment that we're seeing who is making it harder and who is making his brand more toxic. But now that I've gotten on here, I realize that I don't think that you're necessarily the right voice for this conversation, because you want to talk about legal strategies.
You did. You did. You said I don't know what I'm talking about, and you still haven't provided a shred of evidence to support your position. Not one.
So wait, hold on. So I'm sitting here talking to you. You're not serious about helping Vic. You're doing this for yourself. That's what this comes down to. You're doing this for yourself.
Oh my god.
That's a strong claim, buddy. That's a strong claim.
It is a strong claim, and I'm going to continue talking to this person who actually talks to Vic about ways that we can go about fixing this entire situation. Whether Vic ends up handling these lawsuits, no matter what ends up happening with the lawsuits, behind the scenes or what, That's the thing that Vic is doing, or his lawyers are doing. That's between him and Funimation, or him and whatever. And me and this person are going to continue talking about what it is that we do after the fact. And we're going to try to fix this online war that's going on right now with all these people who are warring on Twitter and everywhere else.
Online war. That's what he believes that this whole thing is about. Or no, it's not that he believes it. What he's trying to make Nick believe is that, you know, this is just an online war, and, you know, it can be stopped, and we don't have to, you know, go through these, you know, this lawsuit that, you know, you guys aren't gonna win, you know. This is smug MF. Just smug MF. Hard to deal. It's hard to deal.
And we're going to continue doing that, and we're going to end up doing that without you, because that doesn't appear to be what you're in for, because you're not really in this for Vic's future. All you care about is
you're definitely in it for Vic's future. Here's a question for you. Okay, we'll ignore the fact that you haven't answered a single question about law, not one, despite stating over and over that I have no idea what I'm talking about. We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that.
Sir,
No. Now we're getting to Vic. No, we're getting to Vic. Let's say, okay, what's your strategy to bring Vic back?
What's my strategy for bringing Vic back?
You're talking about bringing Vic back. So what's your strategy? How do we do it? How do we do it, buddy?
Well, the first thing that we have to do is we're going to work on getting rid of these Twitter wars that are going on.
Okay, the Twitter wars. How are you going to do that?
Well, first of all, me and those people in that chat, we're going to end up coming up with a statement that we can tell everyone that shows them that me, them, the Rangers, Jamie, Monica, that everyone is on the same page, and that we are going to stop this constant fighting, because it's not what Vic wants. He said it, it's not what he wants, and that we are going to stop this constant, everyday, nonstop trolling war, fighting war, and we're going to stop that, and we're going to try to come to some kind of peace with that. And then we are going to look at, once that point is done and everyone has simmered down, we're going to look at trying to get Vic's name to a point where cons are not laughing at the fact of bringing him in. That cons want to bring him in. Hey, here's Vic.
How do you do that?
How do we do the second part?
Yeah, okay, so say we don't have any legal strategy, because we're throwing legal strategy out the door. How do you go about getting Vic to conventions with 3 credible, because they're verified people at least. That's a standard I'm going with for credibility. 3 credible accusations of sexual impropriety, an investigation from Funimation, according to their statement, an investigation about sexual harassment. How do you get cons to accept Vic back after having 4 major accusations go uncontested? How do you do that?
We let him turn around and do whatever counseling that he wants to do, whatever he said that he wanted to do. And then when he's done, we start taking Vic and we start bringing him back to conventions one at a time, showing, hey, here's Vic. Vic, there's the stuff that ended up happening, but this is Vic now. We're going to take Vic.
Okay, so your strategy, if I've got this right, is to have Vic disappear himself for a few months, and then a few months from now, you're going to come back and Vic's going to say, look, Vic was harassing, molesting, sexually assaulting people. That was the old Vic, but the new Vic, like 6 months out, now he's a changed man because he went to counseling. That's the plan to get Vic back into conventions and back into anime companies?
Considering the fact that I actually have the ability to actually invite him to 4 conventions right this second and you don't, I don't really think that this is the point where you want to be actually making more fun of Vic and saying more nasty stuff about Vic than I am. I have not said a single nasty... I have not said a single bad thing about Vic on this podcast.
I haven't either.
Yes, you have.
No, I'm laying out the statements that you're trying to combat. You said that you're going to let him say, this is how Vic was, which means to leave the existing statements. Or are you talking about getting Monica, Jamie, Jesse, and Funimation to retract those statements? Because if they don't retract them, How are you going to get around the fact that you have at minimum 4 credible accusations of sexual misconduct that are out there? The legal strategy would be to go ahead and force retractions through the court or through settlement. That's a legal strategy.
Hold on.
No.
What the heck is wrong with you? How is it that you think that they can go to court, get some kind of...
What's wrong with you? Don't sue us. That's all I heard from this idiot. Don't sue us. We're trying to find a peaceful solution. It's just a Twitter war. It's nothing serious. Even though Vic lost his job, it's nothing serious. Don't go through with this lawsuit. Oh my gosh.
Everything I'm talking about revolves around bringing Vic back. You're talking about things that will never let him come back. He'll never go back to Funimation if he sues them. He's never going to go to a convention again if he sues one. All these things,
Good.
I know.
Screw Funimation.
And you are, oh my god, you're so frustrated.
Are you frustrated? Are you mad? Are you frustrated? Are you mad?
Are you mad, bro?
Because I'm actually on the opposite side now. Now I'm actually sitting there trying to figure out ways to get Vic back, and you are absolutely working against me now.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to. I asked you, how does he come back from those?
I just love how that idiot spins it. Like, now we're on the opposite side. See, I'm trying to get Vic back, and now you're the one that's trying not to get Vic back. Like, I'm the good guy here. You're the bad guy. Typical SJW logic.
Existing statements. That's all. How do you tackle those?
I just told you we're going to bring him back and basically say, hey, this happened in the past. Vic is a different person now. Now we're going to invite him to this convention, and now this convention, and now this convention, and we will start getting him invited to conventions again, because this is something that actually happened, and everyone makes mistakes.
So you're saying that this happened?
That what happened?
That all this? You just said this happened, and everybody makes mistakes. So you're asking Vic to admit to all this?
I'm not. I am based.
I mean, you just did. So
Vic already made a statement. He already made a statement that said, and I quote. Well, I'm not going to quote, but he made a statement basically saying he's sorry for anything that he has done which has hurt other people.
Okay, and that's a general statement of apology. Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Vic has done things that upset other people. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Everything else, at least leave that behind. Everyone in this world can have a better image. We'll leave that there.
Here, I'm going to ask you to help Vic right now. I'm going to ask you a tangible way you can help Vic right now. Ready?
Yeah.
Invite him to 4 conventions. Right now. Commit to doing that.
No.
Why not?
No.
Well, why not?
Because he hasn't changed yet.
Hasn't changed from what? Hasn't changed from what?
Love this part. What is it you haven't changed from?
You're not listening.
No, I am listening. I'm listening desperately for an answer. What hasn't Vic changed from? Spell it out.
Or stall.
Because I've asked you how you walk back the fact that there are 4 credible...
Let me do this. Let me tell you this.
Why don't you just answer the question? What has Vic not changed from yet?
I love that part. He almost told him to shut up. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I caught that. I was like, how insolent is this guy? But this is the way that the leftists think, that they have the high moral ground than you do, and they have the right to tell you to shut up, even on your own podcast stream.
Just answer the question. Okay, go ahead.
Alright. For Vic to convince me, or someone, one of his fans, to convince me to book Vic right now, here's what would actually have to happen. There would actually have to be a conversation between me and Vic, or my guest services team and Vic, any of the guest services team and Vic, about the things that we need to do when he comes back. It would be such as, hey, this is the impression that's happened in the past. When you're
What's the impression?
You already know what it is.
No, I don't. I want you to say it.
There are people who aren't comfortable with Vic when he's around them.
Okay.
So that would have to be the first thing. We would actually have to have a rule basically saying, hey, we need to be very mindful and careful when we're around attendees.
Oh my god. And this is what I wrote in the chat. Being uncomfortable around someone does not mean that that person is sexually harassing you. That's pretty much what the basis of what I put in the chat when Nick was doing the live stream. And I was in the chat. To me, that is exactly what this guy is saying. Is that all Vic is guilty, air quotes, guilty of doing is making people uncomfortable. Certain people uncomfortable in conventions. Therefore, that's sexual harassment. No, that's not how it goes.
That's it. Mindful and careful around attendees. Let's just make sure we're on our best behavior on attendees. Make sure that everyone that we're touching understands and completely understands what's going on.
Vic already said that in his answers to IO9.
This is my time, not yours. I'm talking about the rules that we're going to lay out. He already said it. These are the rules that we would lay out for my conventions.
Let's just be clear. This entire show is my time, but you can go ahead and talk.
All right. So we would make it clear and the rules that he needs to be very careful around attendees, and then we'd make sure that he understands. There would be very strict rules in place, not just for him, but every guest. There would be very strict rules around making sure they're careful around attendees, making sure they're careful when they're not around attendees, when they're at a bar in the middle of the night, when they go back to their room, no attendees allowed in the room, just a whole wide swath of rules that we would put down, basically saying, here's what's acceptable, here's what's not acceptable, just to make sure that there's no possible chance of any issues whatsoever. And as long as Vic would agree to those rules, then we would look at, and we would, if a period goes by and we understand that Vic understands this, then I think it would be okay to start inviting him back to shows. And once we invite him back to one show or two shows, then we move on and we start inviting him to other shows. And let's say I invite him to one of my shows next year and everything goes great. He hangs out with attendees, no complaints whatsoever. We're all very careful about the rules. We're all very careful about...
Are these rules already implemented? I mean, surely the conventions that you're running have to have already implemented these rules due to the grievous nature of the allegations against Vic and others, right? So you've already implemented these rules, I assume, at your conventions. Is that right?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay, so these rules are already in place? How long have they been in place?
Actually, as a matter of fact, after this thing came out recently, a lot of conventions around the country ended up redoing and strengthening their rules.
Okay. How long have they been in place? At your conventions, you said you could invite him to 4 conventions right now. That was your claim.
Probably a couple of weeks.
Okay, so they've been in for a couple of weeks? Okay, so since Vic has already stated that he would no longer be hugging people without specifically asking them in his response to IO9, Vic has stated that he's already fulfilled everything you've said. He's pursuing counseling.
Hold on.
No, this is now. No. Okay.
You just brought up the hugging thing again. And what right now is happening is Vic is not accused. The reason he got fired, the reason he got dropped from cons was not because he was hugging people. It wasn't because he randomly kissed an attendee or two. That's not why he got fired. And
why did he get fired then? Why did he get fired and dropped from cons?
I don't know, Mr. I know everything.
I don't. You've told me over and over that you do know, and I don't. So why don't you say it?
Yeah.
Why was he dropped from cons? You said everybody knows, and so I've laid out what everybody knows is that he's been accused of hugging and kissing and making people feel uncomfortable. Okay, Vic has already said he won't do that. In his responses to IO9 that they didn't publish, but that have been subsequently leaked, he already said he wasn't going to be doing that anymore because he now realizes that even though he meant nothing by it, that's not what's considered socially acceptable anymore. So he's already said that. You said the rules have already changed. He's already going to counseling. He's fulfilled every single thing you've said. Now I'm asking when the rules changed, because you said they've already changed. You said you could invite him to 4 conventions today. You said you want to help Vic. You said this is the conversation he needs to have. So why haven't you had that conversation and invited Vic to 4 conventions? I mean, he's already publicly stated all of these things, so I'm sure he would agree to them in private.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. I'll tell you what. I am not going to actually invite him to 4 conventions, but what I will do right now is I will draft an email right this second.
This makes me wonder.
Why don't you just?
This makes me wonder if this guy does cocaine, because he kept on sniffing, and I have misophonia. What misophonia is that it's like a heightened level of hearing, and certain noises really get on people's nerves with misophonia, and the constant sniffing was driving me nuts. From this guy, like, it was just driving me absolutely bonkers.
Invite him to 4 conventions. Why not? You keep leaving these little speeches. You're Vic's best friend. Hold on. No, the problem with this conversation is you're saying all of these things and never backing one up. You say you're Vic's best friend.
So the problem with this conversation is I literally just, and you can screen share, I literally just pulled up Outlook and was starting to write an email to Vic. But you are just a petulant little jerk. And I'm...
Did you say that? Did you say that while you were looking in the mirror, Shane?
I'm going to write an email as soon as I hang up with you. And it is going to be from me.
I mean, it seriously sounds like he has a deviated septum, the way he's just sniffing like that. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. We're getting to the part that really stood out to me and a lot of other people.
Personally, to Vic, and I still have his email address from a year and a half ago when I sent him his last contract, and I will right this second send an email to Vic. And everyone at my convention sees it because it's public. I will send this email to Vic inviting him to a con.
What con and what date?
Well, we haven't actually picked the dates for next year yet, but I'll go ahead and invite him to it. He doesn't actually need the dates just yet because we haven't decided on the venue yet, but I'll go ahead and invite him to the con. It'll be a legal contract that I can go ahead and write with him because you're big on the contract things. I'll go ahead and send him an email.
Not big on the contract things. Oh my god.
Dude, for someone who actually has no control over anything, stop getting so fussy. I will send him an email right now inviting him to a convention in 2019, and I will be the first person who is willing to give him a shot and bring him back, and I will start his PR Vic is coming back tour. There was a point where...
Here we go.
There was a point that people hung out, partied, and stuff like that 20, 30 years ago. And there's actions that people engaged in, which, they were never actually okay, but there's actions that people engaged in that they would never get called out on. I'm just going to put it that way. Whether your guests call it social justice work or whatever, there's ways that people behaved 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and there's things that you can't do anymore. And over the course of the last 20 years,
he's going to trap himself real soon.
Society in itself has changed. There's a lot of things that people used to do. There's a lot of ways that people used to act. We used to be fools like 20 years ago.
There we go. We used to be fools 20 years ago.
We're fools. I was a fool. Vic was a fool. I mean, there's a lot of things we did 20-something years ago which aren't okay today.
So he's basically ousting himself for the allegations that Vic has. The allegations against Vic. He just ousted himself. Good job, Shane. Good job. Excellent job, man. You basically said to us viewers on Nick's chat that you participated in some shady activities. Probably some shady... you probably sexually harassed some women yourself, so you are no saint. Thank you so much. We really needed that. That is going to be, it's going to further our cause. Let me just put it that way.
I'm gonna leave it at that, and your viewers are going to understand what I'm saying. There's things that people did, just their everyday behavior, which was the way that people acted back then, and it's not accepted anymore at all. Okay. It's not necessarily okay back then, but now it's definitely not okay. And unfortunately, my personal opinion and it's just my personal opinion, is that Vic is one of those people. I mean, he's 56 years old. I mean, me and Vic grew up in different times. Things were different 20, 30 years ago. You didn't, and I don't want to get into the whole social justice warrior aspect of this. I really don't right now. What I am going to say is that the things that people did back then, 10 years, because you hear issues about Big from 10 years ago. Everyone's heard it. 10, 20, everyone says it's been going on for a decade, and it has. What I'm going to say is
it's been going on for a decade then.
What I'm going to say is that behavior that people have, there was a point where no one would actually say anything about it because it was just just the way it was. And my personal opinion is that Vic has gotten caught up into a situation where the way that he's always been wasn't necessarily okay then, but it's definitely not okay now.
Gotcha.
I want to leave it at that.
And it's always crap that happened 15 or 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. I mean, that's a bunch of bunk. Nick totally murdered this guy, and he knew that his butt was getting owned, and he just kept going until the chat came in, and it was shown that, you know, he was lying about the chat being on his side. And I mean, has this guy ever done live streams before at all? My guess is no.
I'm sorry, I actually wasn't paying attention to all of that.
Wow, how childish. Typical moron behavior from the left. I'm not gonna listen. Oh, what did you say? Oh, I didn't hear. I wasn't paying attention because I don't get what you're saying. Or I do get what you're saying, but I don't want to agree with you because I'm a jerk. This is just such childish behavior, and coming from the left, I'm not surprised. I mean, this is exactly what a child would do. Huh? What? Oh, I wasn't paying attention because you're boring me. I don't agree with what you're saying, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm ignoring you because what you're saying, I don't believe in. And what I'd say, you should listen to. Yeah, I want you to listen to me. I don't care about you, but you should care about me because I'm far more important than you are. I mean, that's exactly what I got from this stream, from this person that Nick invited on his stream. Like, this person is such a petulant child. Can we replay that clip again?
Petulant little jerk.
Petulant little jerk.
Just a podcast lawyer.
So, that was my thoughts on Nick Reeeee's stream with Twitter nobody Shane Holmberg. Go check his Twitter out. It's absolutely hilarious. It's an absolutely hilarious hot mess. Guys, if you enjoyed this, please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell for more fun and interesting content. I'm Mugaka Murakumo, the Dream Painter. I wish love and light and elevation to all you lovely people out there. Peace out.